Well, welcome everyone to this time of sharing about living our faith with members of the Canadian Martyrs Church and Chaplaincy. And we have a very special treat. And as you can see, just peeking around the corner, is it Seamus? Is it Seamus peeking around the corner there?
That was Finn.
Oh, that was Finn. Okay. Well,
that was Finn.
We're here with Tracy and Greg McCormick and their little guys, Seamus and Finn. So welcome, and we're just going to have a little conversation just to see how life's unfolding for you. So just if you want to introduce yourselves and your in light of your connection to Canadian Martyrs Church and Chaplaincy, that'd be great.
Sure. So we are Tracy and Greg McCormick, and we are newer residents of Hamilton, and we moved here a few years ago from Toronto area, and we've been attending Canadian Martyrs for the last bunch of years, and also my sister's lived here about 20 years ago. She came to McMaster, so I've been attending church here every so often, and at Canadian Martyrs, and our kids are both, Seamus and Finn, are in JK and grade 1 at Canadian Martyrs School as well.
Or as I like to say at Canadian Martyrs, they're pre-McMaster.
Yes.
And how are you involved at the church? Because you are involved.
A little bit. So I'm a lecturer at that new 8 o'clock mass, which I like, and I help do some collection counting. And we have two, as you can hear them in the background, 2 little kids running through the sprinkler. So because Greg is supportive in freeing me up to do those things, then it makes it much easier to do.
And Greg, you've been part of Alpha.
Yes, and I'm just a consumer of services that are provided by the church. I consumed at Alpha. I consume whenever the cookies come out of the basement. No, with 2 kids at the school next door, it's good to have the church right next door. It's just right across the aisle from each other. I'm a little bit active at the school on the parent council there, and have been for the last couple of years. And that's kind of where I'm spending a lot of my time as the kids grow into that, right? And try to keep them connected to the place that's just across the giant growing place across the parking lot. Father's been building.
Yeah, Father's been building. Yeah.
We've seen his little vignettes. We watched his little vignettes where he's walking around giving construction updates with his helmet on. He looks natural.
Yeah, he's a star. That's great.
We've yet to see you out there with your.
I'm not safe to be let out. What's it been like for you as a family during this time in terms of connecting with? I know you have family members, Tracy, and healthcare, and even as parents of little ones. What's it been like for you?
An adjustment and challenging, but I guess we try to be very easy to adapt people and kind of fluid in changing times, and we're lucky that we have access to technology and we're able to keep in touch with family members. We're both from big families, so Zoom and Microsoft Teams have become our new friends, and even I play a few nights a week euchre online with my family, so we're chatting away just like we're all sitting at a table. So it's nice to have technology, and we're just finding ways to connect with family. So it's good.
Yeah.
It's good.
And you were saying too earlier that you have 3 family members involved in direct healthcare or direct services.
Yeah, so I have 2 brothers that are physicians, and my sister's a nurse practitioner, and they're 2 of them are working in COVID clinics, dealing right with patients directly, and then my other brother works downtown Toronto, St. Mike's Hospital, and he's dealt with patients coming into emerge there and has had to intubate a couple. So it's they're direct online, they're high risk. And so it's a bit nerve-wracking, but they're managing to keep their family safe. But it's their calling almost that they would never not work, because they recognize the need to stay working in healthcare to help protect people. That's just their nature.
That's beautiful. Wow. How are you sort of like living your faith or engaging with your faith or engaging with church and the church and chaplaincy? I mean, even you've just talked about keeping an eye on the Cornerstone videos and things like that. But how are you as a family still trying to engage with your faith and church activity?
It's actually there's been a positive, right? Because with live streaming, as everybody's getting used to that and actually getting better at it, we've actually been going to church with our family members from across the country, right? So we're going to church with them online in Calgary and places around the globe that actually we weren't able to do before. So it's kind of a mix. Plus, of course, we miss the live personal contact, but with what we have to deal with, things like Zoom and YouTube and Facebook have been actually pretty good in that sense. And actually, it's quite surprising how quickly the different churches have adapted and they've become quite professional in their production of these things. It's actually very good.
We sort of attended Mass with some of my siblings, and then actually we sometimes talk about it later. Oh, what a great sermon, or so and so, and it was good. So it's neat that we actually sit down and we put on the TV at the same time, and we're like essentially attending Mass together. So it's neat because they're in Calgary. So I attend with Mass with my three brothers in Calgary.
That's beautiful.
And my sister and my nephew, like around here. So it's good.
And the flexibility of scheduling is actually kind of interesting because I was able to catch that great service with Father Marcus that coincided with his ordination. He had a really excellent talk there that I really enjoyed. Actually, it was really good. The way he tied that all together, it was great. And that was something I could do later on, right? As opposed to a live stream. That was very good.
Yes, it's true. Yeah, we often wonder if we'll get people back in the church again because the live stream has been a whole new experience. Yeah. So would you say that's been one of the gifts, or if I asked you what were some of the blessings or the gifts of this time, I was just thinking, just even what you said about being able to share your church experience with family across the country and then talk about it afterwards, or what else would you say, or how would you say that's a gift?
Yeah. So personally, it's neat to be able to connect with family and attend Mass. But one thing I found is sort of now, as people are kind of talking about, we should be kind to each other, we should help the vulnerable, we should help feed the poor, etc. And I'm thinking, well, that's kind of like the normal that you grow up with as a Catholic. It's just nice to see that more of society is kind of recognizing, oh, maybe that's how we should live, and maybe these should be principles, even policies, some might call it, in society. Which to me, it's just sort of normal. That's just normal. But it's nice to see. It's almost like people are realizing sort of what we see as normal Christian life. That now they're realizing, oh, we do need to help people that need help, that can't speak for themselves. Oh, we do need to help food banks. Oh, we do need to do these things. Oh, we shouldn't take everything. Oh, we should let people in line. Oh, there's a new thing called COVID kindness. Well, that's kind of like, to me, normal Christian kindness that we live every day. So I've just found, like, as a society, they seem to recognize the kind of what's sort of normal. Greg, do you have anything to add?
Yeah. I miss Mass. Absence makes the heart grow fonder, as they say. And I find myself lost on Sunday mornings a little bit because I miss the Eucharist. I realized that, of course, I realized that before, but actually being physically distanced from that and being kind of forced not to have access to that is something I've taken in my whole life. So I've kind of, in my mind, come to maybe a better understanding of what people in different parts of the world where they are being oppressed and they aren't allowed to practice their religion as freely as we do here. I've been thinking a lot about those people, and I can't say I'm even close to understanding their situation, but just a little taste of that. And I really don't like it. So that's something I really miss, and I've realized I've actually taken for granted a little bit. Right? So it's made me appreciate that a lot.
Thank you for sharing that. Thank you for sharing everything that you've shared at this point. it really will encourage a lot of people, and I think a lot of people are feeling similar to you as well. And I think we're all looking forward to the day we can come back and be together as community together. And I'm just going to take this opportunity to say thank you so much for sharing your family, for sharing your
Just
faith.
one more concern I had,
Okay.
sister, before you go. One of my main concerns is how long actually Father's beard will be when I first see him. Because we don't have access to barbers, and that beard was getting there to start with. Let's check out the beard is going to be the first thing I'm going to check out for sure. Forget the construction. I'm looking for the beard.
I promise I will get through one interview and not mention Father's beard because we give him terrible grief. But you raised the subject.
There has to be a no. There's probably going to be signs with no scissors allowed in the church when we return. No scissors and mask.
That's too funny. Oh gosh. Anyhow, that's great. Do the guys want to come and wave goodbye or wave hello maybe to Father?
Yeah, hang on.
Yes, say hi, sister.
Hi. You say hi. You say hi, Father Marcus.
Say hi, Father Marcus.
Hi, Father Marcus.
Wonderful. Thanks so much, as I said, for sharing your time and your words, and your kids really miss y'all, and we look forward to being with you again.